What's going on, people? Welcome back to another live Palace news. As always, I'm joined by T to discuss the latest news surrounding the club. As always, if you do enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace videos and live streams and more. All of the nonsense, as I always spout. But look, we're going to keep it a quick show today. There's interesting news. As you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about Wilf. And if we have any time, which I doubt we will do because we're both bit busy today, we'll answer a few of your questions. But T, how you been, man? You looking smart as always.
You know, man, taking it day by day, brother.
Yeah, bro. I know. What's it called? It's Pancake Day today. Is it over in US the same? Pancake Day?
Pancake Day? There's a Pancake Day? I don't celebrate it, but I need to.
Well, boy,
what?
Go out, enjoy it, man. Go out and enjoy it.
So wait, is that a thing? Is that a thing in the UK? Pancake Day?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. It is. We have Pancake Day. I don't know who celebrates it, but if you're celebrating Pancake Day, enjoy your pancakes, I guess.
I will write it down. Sure. The 21st. Yeah. Pancake Day. I can't lie.
Okay. I am craving pancakes now, as I speak. But look, there's enough for the pancakes chat because we haven't got time to talk about pancakes. So let's get straight into it. And the first bit of news is on Wilf. And that is, according to reports, he is weighing up his switch to join Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr, the club that Ronaldo is at on a free transfer. The 30-year-old is set to depart Selhurst Park, and this is according to TalkSport, at the end of the season, having rejected multiple offers to extend his stay. T, Saudi Arabia, Wilf. I'll be honest, we've been talking about Wilf throughout the season, but Saudi, that's the first time it's been mentioned. For you, would you want him to join Saudi Arabia? Because it seems like he's still in his prime. Would you want him to go the Ronaldo route yet? Or would you prefer him to join a bigger side, maybe play a bit more European football if he was to leave us?
I wouldn't want to lose him, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Wilf. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to lose him at all. But, you know, if you were to lose him, at least you wouldn't lose him to another Premier League club. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I guess for the life of me, I can't really see it happening. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's something that has really come from out of left field. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think it would be a great. I think Wilf can play at a higher level than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the biggest conversation that we've been having about Wilf is him going and playing for, you know, Champions League level clubs or, you know, playing European level clubs. And if he does that, it's kind of like, you know, I think it's just it's really a money move. You know what I'm saying? Like, it almost feels like a money grab. So I don't know.
About that, so let's talk about it, because I understand where you're coming from. I understand that many people will have the views that you have, but it comes to a point where, how I see it is, this could be his last big paycheck. He is 30 years old. He's not a young Wilfred Zaha, he is. And in all honesty, I wouldn't blame him if he was to move over to Saudi Arabia, because as I said, if he wants to go for money, then he can do it, because he's not going to get this opportunity again. We're talking about opportunities, whether moving to a big club, but this opportunity might also not arise in terms of for Wilf and his family. And for that reason, I will never disrespect Wilf if he was to move to Saudi Arabia. I think he's the greatest Crystal Palace player of all time. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion, anyways. Mm-hmm. And if he was to move abroad, and if he was to say, you know, move to Saudi Arabia and join the likes of Ronaldo there, and, you know, sort himself out financially, I'm pretty sure he's not broke right now financially anyways. But if he was to help himself out there a bit better in terms of contract, then, you know, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for him if that's where his mindset is at. And that's the most important thing. What does Wilf want? Is he after the money, which I wouldn't blame him if he was after the money, or does he want to join a big club in Europe? But for me, if he did join a big club, there is also flip to this. If he was to join a big club, he could also build up his reputation. I mean, people know Wilfred Zaha. Of course, they know Wilfred Zaha. But if he's to join the likes of, I don't know, like Dortmund, and he feels ripping it up in the Champions League or PSG or Bayern Munich or one of these big clubs, his reputation will improve. And then he will most likely get another chance to go to Saudi Arabia. So I don't think it's a straightforward answer as if he was to stay at, let's say, if he was to join a bigger club, that it would be amazing. If he was to move to Saudi Arabia, that would be the end of him. I think there's pros and cons to both of it. But the ideal scenario, of course, stay at Palace. Stay at Palace till your career is done, because that's what I would like to see. But then again, we're not going to offer Saudi money later.
You can go there later.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but look, T, are you gonna? How do you think about this? There's also a big chance that if he moves to a bigger club, it doesn't work out. He loses out on money. He doesn't end up playing at the top level anyways, apart from being a big club. So for you, do you think he is ready to move to a big club realistically and play week in, week out? Because as much as I love Wilf, and I do think he's got the talents for it, I know the politics about these big clubs. I know that if he moves to a bigger club, it could only take one thing to go wrong, and then all of a sudden he's on the bench and doesn't get opportunity like that. Now, I'm not saying something will go wrong if he was to move to a bigger club, but I know his talent, 100%, he's ready for a bigger club move. He has been ready for years. But then the amount of players that these clubs tend to have available, it could be the end of his career that way if he moves to a bigger club and doesn't play and loses out on money.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things, Wilf has already gone through that process of making that big club move when you're a big talent player and not going the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I think for him, in order to make that move, it's got to make sense. It's got to be the right situation for him. And I think that is probably what has led him to not making the move so often in the past. I mean, it seems like every summer, the past, 5 years maybe, if not more, it's like always rumored that he might be moving. You know what I mean? And I think part of the reason why he hasn't is because nothing has been the right situation for him. I think, and it's something that matters to him. I think it matters to him, matters to his family. Like whatever it is, it's got to be the correct situation for him. And whether that's with understandings or guarantees of minutes or the role on with the squad, all those things have to fall into place correctly. Can he perform? Can he play well for a European level club? Yes. But like you said, those teams are loaded with talent. They have a lot of guys. So it's kind of like, how do you make it work? How do you make it to where, a guy of that caliber is going to have the type of chance that he wants, or the type of appearances that he wants to make? I mean, we're all talking about a guy who's now 30 years old. So he's not in a situation of his career where he's going to be wasting time from here on out. So it's got to work. It's got to work. Like, got to make sense for him.
Yeah, I think the only thing is if he's after, let's say, if he wants more money for his family, for if he wants to go down that route, that route is more likely to work, or is more likely to work than if he was to move to a bigger club. Not because of his talents, but if you secure the paycheck, you secure the paycheck. That's done if that's your objective. You get it? Whereas if you move to a bigger club and you want to play at the top level, that's going to be a bit more difficult. So it depends on what he's actually thinking, in all honesty. It depends on if he wants to, be at a bigger club and go for trophies, because that's another thing, T. His legacy by Palace fans is set.
It's cemented. It's cemented.
Anyways, yeah, cemented. Yep. But by neutrals, you know how this game works. Players are judged by trophies, accolades, and for some people they're easy with it. Some people like me, I don't judge a player based on the amount of trophies that he wins. For example, Harry Kane is not a bad player. Harry Kane is still one of the best strikers in the world, despite him not winning trophies that
hasn't won anything.
Because why is he the best? Because it's 11-man game, and I understand that just because Harry
and
Kane,
it's an individual's level. An individual's level of play isn't always going to be indicative of his team's level of play, especially in such a team-oriented sport. You got 11 guys on the pitch, 10 other guys outside of that one excellent player. So recognizing somebody's talent, their level of ability, their contribution to a team is one thing, but then going out and saying, "Oh, well, he's done nothing in his career. He hasn't won anything. That means he wasn't good." is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, if he's thinking about trophies, of course he moves to a bigger. And if he cares about legacy, but then again, for me, of course, I don't know him like that. But for me, I don't know if Wilf. Of course, every player would want trophies, but from what I'm seeing, I know he has to sign a new contract here at Palace, but he also seems happy at Palace, and maybe this season has kind of put him off and I wouldn't blame him because this season has been mediocre by our standards. And that's why I've said it. If you want to be ambitious, if you want to keep Wilf, you need to be ambitious as a football club. Last season, we were serious. We were playing good football. We were winning games. We went to FA Cup semi-final. But this season, we took a step down because we didn't want to invest. And now that's not a good look on the likes of players like Wilf, because them players want to be playing at the top level. And this season, we took a step back. We took a step back, which probably hurts our chances in terms of getting him signing another contract. But then again, I don't think it's over yet. This is an interesting story. And multiple sources have said this now. You can go check it out. Everyone's been talking about this story throughout the day for Palace. And I have belief in the story. Let's just say that. I have belief in the story. I do feel like this offer could potentially arise. But then this doesn't mean that Wilf is going to accept it. You get it? So
it's one thing to get the offer, one thing to accept it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he's got other contract offers. He's probably got contract offers over in Europe as well. And he's got Palace, of course. We probably offered a new contract with him. Not probably. We have. So yeah, I just wonder when he will make up his mind, Dirty. For you, when will you start getting worried, if you're not worried right now, in terms of him potentially leaving? If he doesn't sign a contract by a certain date, is it you're fine with it till the end of the season? If is it March? Is it April? Is it May? Like for you, when would you be seriously worried about him leaving? Because there's not that much left till the end of the season, even in terms of games.
To be honest with you, man, I think my worry wouldn't happen until June, because I feel like we have a chance until
the end of the season.
Yeah, I think I think we have a chance until that contract expires, or he has seriously chosen to go elsewhere, which he hasn't yet. I mean, think about it. I mean, he was free to talk to clubs freely starting in January. You know what I mean? So I think it says something that we haven't really heard or seen anything. So for us, I feel like it's one of those things that Wolf's, like I said, I've said it before, I think Wolf's the kind of guy that strikes me as, hey, I'm trying to focus on the issue at hand right now with this season. You know what I mean? Yeah. And everything else will get worked out in time. And I think part of that, the reason why he can have that outlook is because he has a club that's willing to work with him in that manner. You know what I'm saying? We're not the big six. It's like, hey, man, tell us if you're coming back or not so we can make moves elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's not the type of club we are. So I wouldn't be surprised if we wouldn't see something from him later down the road. And I guess that's why I wouldn't be worried until later on.
Yeah, Liam says it's too early to be worried about this. They have lots of time to prepare a new contract with Wilf. Lukey says he is worried. So opposite. We could still get a replacement, and he's been at the club for 10 years. I don't think replacing Wilf is going to be easy. I don't think you can replace Wilf in terms of what it means to the football club. But in terms of talent, it'll be a difficult job as well. It'll be a very difficult job. And some of the names that's been mentioned so far, I'm not optimistic about it. It's mainly Sar's been the one player that's been kept mentioned about it. But look, today we're going to keep it short. We thought we'll jump on. We're trying to do this more consistently. If you guys have enjoyed it, if you can smash the like button and subscribe, it takes a minute of, well, not even a minute, 10 seconds of your time. That'll be much appreciated, especially if you want to see more future Palace content. That's it from me and T. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.